When someone falls overboard from a cruise ship, every second counts. But in many cases, the ship doesn't turn around until it's too late. There is technology that could help protect you on board, but as Contact 5 investigator Dan Kraft discovered, you'll have trouble finding it on any ship coming in and out of U.S. ports.
It was Jason Rapay's first vacation getaway with his wife. A trip to the Caribbean, setting sail out of Fort Lauderdale.
We don't know what happened there, and we probably never will.
This is the last picture he took.
But one day he's just gone.
I spoke with Jason's brother Eric by Skype from his home near Portland, Oregon.
People don't know that this happens. People don't realize that hundreds of people disappear.
Since 2000, more than 200 passengers and crew members have gone overboard. In Jason's case, surveillance video from Holland America's Eurodam captured the last few moments he was spotted on deck.
He was at a bar with my sister-in-law and went out, we believe, onto the deck to have a cigarette and never came back.
The video later shows what appears to be Rapay going over the railing in the distance.
Having the video does nothing at all until after the people are deceased, until after they're gone and it's too late.
This happens more often than the cruise line wants you to know.
Maritime attorney Jim Walker has represented a dozen families who have had loved ones lost at sea.
For most people who go overboard, it just turns into a mystery.
As of right now, most cruise lines rely on video surveillance cameras and workers to watch those cameras to spot anyone going overboard, and also passengers reporting what they see to crew members.
Quite often, it's an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And then the opportunity to save a life is lost.
He hoped a law passed in 2010 that called for cruise lines to use improved technology would save lives.
Unfortunately, our Congress is slow to enact legislation and even slower to make certain that the legislation is being enforced.
3 years later, most ships still don't have an overboard detection system.
Do you think that this detection system could have saved your brother's life?
They could have pulled him out of the water alive, and we would be celebrating Thanksgiving with a smile instead of remembering it as the anniversary of my brother disappearing.
None of the cruise lines we reached out to would talk to us on camera. The Cruise Line International Association said in a statement, the industry continues to evaluate, test, and conduct trials to figure out which one works best. But former Coast Guard engineer Dave Leone says the technology's easy and has been around for years. He developed it.
This is instant. The moment it senses mass coming down, it sets off the alarm.
Each one of these overboard sensors is equipped with 2 lasers and sets off an alarm when someone falls into the water.
I'm baffled by it. They need to do something to stop it, to protect these people.
Next week marks 1 year since Jason's disappearance.
We're trying to create transparency.
His brother's spending the time traveling to Capitol Hill, meeting with dozens of lawmakers, hoping to revise the cruise laws, pushing for tougher wording and more protection for passengers.
My advice would be the biggest thing you can do as a traveler is do not go anywhere on a cruise ship alone. Anywhere.
1 year later, the sheriff's office is still investigating Jason Rapay's disappearance.
Dan, how can Congress pass a bill years ago and absolutely nothing happens?
Well, some of the language in the law is vague. For example, it says to install these systems, but to the extent that the technology is available. That's why Eric Rapay was in D.C. this week. He's hoping to change that.
Dan, thank you very much.
Fascinating. Thank you, Dan.